Hi, my name is Jenna Grajeda. I was born on December 8th. I'm currently 16 years old, and the first 7 years of my life were the best thing that ever happened to me. My mom was my hero, and that's never going to change. She was the hardest working person I ever knew, and I don't think anyone could ever compare to her. Sadly, she passed away on November 11, 2011. And ever since that, I knew that I was all alone, and if I ever needed to get something or needed something, I would have to get it for myself. After everything, I fell really hard into depression, and a few years later, I started middle school, and not having any type of female figure in my life was kind of hard for me. To make a long story short, I got into a lot of fights, and I started doing drugs at a young age because me and my brother were always home alone. Eventually, I got arrested and they took me into JPD and I stayed there for 2 weeks, but I hated living with my dad so much, I asked them if I could stay longer, but they said no. When I got out, I was on house arrest for 3 months, and the only place I was able to go was to the mental hospital and back home. The hospital gave me antidepressant pills, but they made me feel worse, so I just do drugs all the time. I didn't feel like the mental hospital was helping me with my depression, so I got myself kicked out of the program by getting into a fight. So then I had to go back to school. I went to Keys and I did good, and then I moved to Eastlake afterwards. My dad ended up taking me out of Eastlake and then putting me into options. At first, I didn't even want to go, but then he forced me, and I ended up loving it there. I started paying attention more to school, and I stopped doing the negative things I was doing. Then I had to move to Americas, and my probation officer put me in this Project Hope program. So there I had to do counseling and group therapy and stuff every week, but I also had to do family therapy with my dad, so I'd have to go to his house every week. When I got off probation, I stopped doing all the drugs and all the negative things I was doing, and I didn't plan on starting again. Starting sophomore year, I ended up ditching again because I hated everyone at school. I was doing good in school, and I was dating some guy. During the relationship, he would hit me and he would yell at me. During this time, my depression got really bad again, but I would keep it to myself. I would fight the urge to do drugs because I didn't want to lose everything I worked so hard for. While the whole coronavirus situation started, I moved back to options because I started planning that I wanted to graduate early. I also started working at Cane's, and I ended up getting a car. My dad was seeing that I was changing for the better, so eventually he started talking to me. I'm doing really good now, but it's hard to do all that I'm doing without my mom, and at that time I still didn't have my dad, but now I have a good relationship with my dad. Now I'm getting everything I ever wanted. I have my family, I have my grandparents on both sides, my brother and my dad, even my dad's girlfriend. I'm doing good in options, and I'm working really hard and making my own money. I go to see my dad and his side of the family at least once every 2 weeks. My relationship with my dad is the most important thing to me right now, and I don't ever want to mess that up again. I'm so proud of myself and where I've pushed myself to, because now I can really say that I'm doing good. I stopped doing everything that I was doing that was holding me back from succeeding. I have a job that pays me good, and I recently got a promotion to be a certified trainer, and I got a raise. Most days I go to work in the morning because I need the money, and the good thing is that I can do school at options after 4 and complete my coursework in the evening and into the night. I'm really thankful to options and my teachers, my counselor, and especially my principal for giving me a chance to do work and school at the same time. I'm grateful that I'm finishing my classes at my own pace, and I'm super grateful that options gave me another chance to go back. I'll agree that my life hasn't been easy, and I could have avoided making so many mistakes, but those same mistakes were what shaped me into the person I am today. I'm grateful to have so many people believe in me and stick by my side when I was going through the darkest times of my life. I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm working on it. I want to graduate, and I want to study psychology so I can help people that are like me. But I'm working on it. I want to graduate, and I want to study psychology so I can help people that are like me. But I'm working on it. I want to graduate and I want to study psychology so I can help people that are like me. But I'm working on it. I want to graduate and I want to study